All right. We're up. And yes, they are not here. So let me do this real quick. Ah, there's Anthony. Here we go. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. We're going to figure this out one day. I think I can actually save my settings, which would be really awesome.
Oh, that'd be nice.
All right. Okay. So we got both of you. And then let me just switch to the painting. Oh, look, you're up there too. All right, cool. That all worked out perfectly. Okay, cool. Welcome. I just wanted to let everyone know that I'm probably the best ever at getting times wrong. So,
You're the best.
I rely so much on Calendly to get me the right times, and then this isn't on Calendly, so I just don't even know how time zones work anymore. But anyways, so that was on me.
Time zones are hard. Like, have you ever set up your class schedule on like Google Calendar, and then when you get there, it like changes all the times?
Yeah. That's not good. Not good.
Like time zones plus or minus, like if I'm wrong.
I did that one year.
I know, but Google just like it adjusts your entire schedule, like because you've traveled, so it knows you've traveled, so it changes all the times on you.
So the last time I went to San Diego, Anthony, we got there and I changed my Calendly to reflect West Coast time because I was obviously going to be there for a couple weeks and I was doing private coachings and stuff. Then forgot about it, came back to the East Coast and set my next month's calendar. So I had like private coachings at 3 a.m. And I was just like, I'm not changing anything. I've got to live with this. So now I'm very, well, I haven't really gotten anywhere to have to change my Calendly time zones. But if I ever do that again, I'm definitely making sure I change it back because that was brutal.
So I've got a bit of a cold still, even 2 weeks on, and like so I've been I might cough a little bit.
Yeah, that's called the Caribbean flu or something. I don't know. Where'd you guys actually go?
Went to Mexico and Honduras.
Oh, that's super cool. Was it
was
warmer
pretty awesome
down there?
Oh yeah, it was warm. It was kind of windy though, because we were just coming through after this hurricane.
Right.
So, yeah, it was fine though. It was really fun. We got to snorkel a little bit in the some coral reefs and visit some Mayan ruins, which was really cool. And of course enjoy the cruise life. Of course I was working teaching people how to paint, but that's always fun. So yeah, it was kind of like a great little trip.
So do you feel the motion of the ship while you're painting? Like, is it something you kind of have to adjust for, or is it kind of like so subtle that
it's pretty subtle? Like some people I think are more sensitive to it. I had like one student that it was kind of messing with him.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But that was because it was so windy. If it hadn't been so windy, you wouldn't notice it at all.
Right.
Because that boat is like so huge. It's like I think it was the 4th largest cruise ship in the world.
Oh wow.
What like brand of ship is it?
Royal Caribbean. They have all the biggest ones. Yeah.
What was the food? What was the best food that you experienced there?
The food was pretty good. Like, we just did like the main dining room thing. So, but we did go to one of the specialty restaurants, which was really tasty. For the final night, I don't know. Like, they just They have all the good stuff there.
Before I really want to do it, So
yeah.
So what was the class that you taught, Matt?
Well, I did 2 days of sort of advanced instructions. So we were like painting on 70 millimeter and kind of, you know, um, teaching people to the colored sketching method of starting, and then covering all of the fundamentals of blending and non-metallic metal and just like all of those things. So it was kind of like a bit of a survey class for 2 days. And then for the final day, we did gaming painting and speed painting and stuff. So I did the sketch style method, and then I also showed off the comic book method that we've been doing in these streams. And that totally blew their minds because I painted Rogue, so he's got the big explosion and everything, and did in the 2.5 hours like we do on stream, and turned out really, really good. So
That is awesome. That's super
yeah.
awesome.
I can show you guys. I'm probably gonna spend a little bit extra time on her today because I just want her to look really, really nice. But I think that it's pretty effective. So
yeah, why don't we show? Hold on a second. Let me get your thing. I think we might have lost Anthony.
yeah, Anthony's frozen there.
Or his camera froze. He went and touched his camera.
Hear me?
And then it's not.
Can you hear me?
I'm just putting Matt big. Oh, that's freaking awesome.
So that's the one I did in the final. It was the last thing we did on the cruise class. I was like, hey, you guys probably just want to hang out and relax. And man, it just like blew their minds that I was able to do that in 2.5 hours. So
yeah,
it was
that
really, really
so
fun.
Good. That's super rad.
I'll probably clean it up a little bit and do a little bit more on it. Maybe paint this like it's a little hot dog.
Right.
Keep on wanting to do that. But yeah.
That would work.
So yeah, that turned out really nice. I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, I know that you and Anthony wanted to paint more today. So I'll probably just be doing a little bit of sketching on that, and I started my Wolverine as well. And I have a little. I did a little bit of painting on Beast, so I have a few things just to kind of wrap up. But
cool.
I don't know how much painting I'll do tonight because you guys wanted to do most of the painting.
Yeah, we're gonna ball hogs today.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Cool. Yeah, I can hear you. I think
that Wolverine, blue and yellow, or the orangey one, orange and brown.
Yeah, I'm doing the yellow and brown one. I decided to do that. Here, I can show you guys if you guys want. I mean, I'm kind of showing all my stuff right now, but I'll finish this one up. I think I could probably finish him by the end of the stream here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I want to do yellow brown one too.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. There's some of that embossing that. Yeah, on this, not all of the black sort of comic book lines are in there yet, but I think that it's got a good start on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm super digging that.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm trying to get
anyway, that's what I've been up to. I've been doing a little bit. I've been a little sick, I'm quite sick, so I'm a little bit behind on some of my other stuff. But
sweet. Alright, Anthony, I'm trying to get you back up here. All right, there we go. Cool.
Nice.
Anthony, did you want to show, we're just going to do some little show and tell, kind of what we've been working on for our teams and all that good stuff. So, Anthony, take it to the bridge.
I'm trying to get my other camera to work, so why don't you go first?
Okay, we can do that.
Well, I could also show one more thing if you want, Aaron. Because I did a little base for the Professor X that I paid last time.
Yeah, let's see it.
Because I didn't like the big splash thing. That just wasn't my thing. It looks cool, but I kind of liked. So I just took a little brush protector and put a little beam coming down from it.
Oh, cool! I like it. It almost looks like, well, it is see-through. But I mean,
Yeah,
it,
it
it
is a
has
little
that.
see-through
That's like
too.
super cool. Like it has that element of like depth. Like it's
Yeah.
like energy.
It looks like. Do you put like an LED in there? It looks like it's
No,
glowing.
no, it's just painting.
What? How'd you get it to look like it's glowing, man? That's awesome.
What you do is you paint like titanium white at the base and like actually get it on the inside a little bit,
Huh?
and then you glaze like fluorescent blue ink onto it.
Yeah, that looks cool. That looks
Great.
great.
So anyway, yeah, I really liked the Professor X from last time. I was really stoked about how this model turned out.
Yeah,
So,
he came out really good.
and actually the whole team together, man, it's just looking better and better each one you finish. I just love that feeling when you're painting, groups of models. As
Yeah.
as he gets bigger and bigger, it just gets really exciting. So it's been a little bit since I painted an army, so, but I do really enjoy it. I painted a lot of armies in my day, of course, but yeah.
Oh, and Heather just joined as well too. Heather O'Neill. So
Sweet,
welcome back.
sweet. Hey Heather. Oh yeah, I've been
Hi, Heather.
neglecting the chat, so I'm doing good on that. That's pretty awesome. Okay.
Let's see if my thing to work. Oh,
Oh,
can you
it
see?
does work. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me blow.
I'm on my handheld now. So
Okay.
this is
Nice.
my version of Rogue that I painted for the Worthy last year. Man, I love how you did that explosion. So it's really cool.
Thanks.
And then this is the Weapon X I just painted. I try to do the just do that comics that style from like the 90s comics.
Right.
So I found the reference that the sculpt was based off of. So try to create that kind of lighting style with that rim light and that dark shadow. So the middle of him is kind of painted a little darker and
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's one of those weird poses that kind of like you end up losing the whole middle of the figure,
Yeah.
But he looks cool.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, like it looks like it's just
Nice.
from your lighting, but I love that whole like make it really dark in the front.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been trying to do that with some of the figures as well, and because it's very common in comic books, and I just love it. It makes these just dark silhouettes and just really good.
Yeah.
That Weapon X looks awesome, Anthony.
Yeah.
Thanks,
He
dude.
came out cool.
Appreciate it. And then Deadpool is seen, and then Storm. Storm was my first X-Men, my first MCP figure I painted, so it was kind of fun. And then we got Cable,
We've got a lot of models finished. Or
Skylock, and then the two Jean Greys. The right one, but a bit more refined. The left one was I painted on Alfonso's miniature art academy stream.
yeah, that's super cool. That aired what, last month or the month before? I remember we kind of promoted it a little bit.
I think it was last. I went in the summer, but I think they were able to edit the video. I think last month. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually
Yep,
how it works.
that's
And who's the girl in the back?
what?
The white suited
Oh, she's Storm.
Storm. Okay, yeah,
I'm like Holly Berry Storm. Yeah.
yeah, she looks cool.
Yeah, I got her on my docket as well, so
Yeah, you're doing her for the showdown, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what my team is going to be, but I'm just painting up, all of the 90s X-Men.
Yeah. No.
Although the next stream I want to paint Colossus for everybody and do some non-metallic metals in the faster comic book style.
Oh yeah, no, that would be cool.
That sounds super awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Ken, Ken, Japanese Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's painting a Colossus as well too, for the Worthy for this year. It's looking pretty sweet, really, really sweet.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I'm just kind of painting up. I like to do gaming models fast and not do the really high-end stuff on gaming stuff. But maybe I'll change my mind. Who knows?
I mean, like
I have some really big projects, that are probably going to make it, so I don't end up doing it this year for the Worthy.
oh,
But,
next year maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends.
That's cool.
But it's just more high end, like fine art stuff that I'm doing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, I think it's all good, you know, like just if it's fast and quick or like more refined and stuff. I think it all looks pretty cool. And it's just a
Yeah.
style. Again, you know, back to styles of comics. Some stuff is kind of some art is kind of sketchy and blocky, and yeah, it's all good too.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like I'm doing like comic book stuff at the interior pages level, not the
Cover.
not doing covers right now. Yeah,
Yeah, the cover of the spread. Yeah,
That's super
yeah,
awesome. All right,
yeah,
so you want to see my stuff? Here
yeah,
we
yeah,
go.
for
dude.
sure, man. Yeah. Oh,
So I've got, of course, my
Uh,
Hulk that I did a while ago. I actually did a whole video series on this on Miniature Monthly,
sweet.
from start to finish, including the base. I think my favorite part on this one is actually uh, the little tar lines in the street.
yeah, totally. So, the
so,
stuff.
so I just took black paint and put a whole bunch of like water effects in it, so it was like thicker, like really thick, and then I just put it on really thick because that's the way that stuff goes on, and it did a couple layers of it, and it came out pretty cool. But everyone always asks me if I cut the ripped pants and stuff if that was sculpted in there or I converted it, but it's just all paint.
Oh,
Same
nice.
with the rips back here. So I just wanted them to be a little bit different, but yeah. So this is one of my uh, first models that I finished, and then I've
Mm,
got her. She came out pretty
nice.
cool, super simplistic, pretty
The hair,
awesome.
like draws a lot of focus to her face.
Yeah, I like her too because I think she's 2 points, so she's not a big
Yeah,
take away from my points total.
one of
um,
the best pointers. You know, she's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Is
exactly. What's that?
she gonna be in your list?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yes,
and then
sir.
here, basically all of these guys are in my list, and then there might be a couple guys that I might swap out or something. But here's the Iron Man that comes with
Mm.
Hulkbuster. So I kind of screwed myself on this one because I'm like, oh, I only have to paint 10 figures, and then I have to paint 11 because and the obviously the Hulkbuster. So it's just, but that's okay. I think it's awesome. I like to
Wait,
paint.
did you paint the Iron Man before or after you painted Hulkbuster?
I painted Iron Man before. So
Oh,
if you notice, he's actually a little redder than Hulkbuster, but also Hulkbuster's not done. So, but I don't know. I don't think it would be bad if he was a little bit different tone or something
oh,
because
that's
it's
fine.
like
I
it's
mean,
different metal or whatever. Who knows? Um,
mm,
except, I mean, I guess if you really go fluffy, it probably is the exact same metal, so I should get my colors correct. Um, but yeah. So again, pretty quick paint job. I got to finish the base still, but it's kind of like this is how it goes for me. I do everything, and then like I'm like, oh, there's like one part of the model I don't finish forever, and then finally I finish it. So we got that.
Yeah,
Um, oh,
I'm guilty of that too, Aaron.
it's kind of like
For
I was
sure.
having fun, and then I moved on. So Captain America. I'm not playing this Captain America in the game. I'm playing the old Captain America, who's like a point less, and he has different special rules, and I like his special rules better. But I like this
mm.
model better, so I'm just fudging, and he's going to be my Captain America for this list. So again, going with the almost finished. I haven't touched the shield, so it all works out.
You
Um,
bring
then
Ben?
then I've got my other Captain America. So this is what is it, Sam Wilson?
Sam
Um,
Wilson.
so he's the one that I think I'm gonna try to finish up tonight. But I started this on a stream before we even started these streams. I did a stream. I haven't posted it in our YouTube or anything, so I'll probably post that right after this, and then hopefully finish him up tonight. I've got his explosion started, so kind of got to finish that up, get him all married together, get the OSL going on there. Try really hard to break him, and then I got his base. So um, he's another one that's almost done. And
Very cool.
then what other models? Oh, this one's not in my list, but I was just gonna show him anyways. Ultron is super rad. Um,
Nice.
I love this model. Like it's just so cool. And I think this is the old one. Um, So he's got some red OSL coming up from below, and then what I want to do is put him. This one's going to be a display mini, so he's going to have like a base that I'm going to sculpt with maybe some lava or something, making light. So that's pretty cool. But I just wanted to show him. He's not in my list unless I need more, and then I'll use him. I got Thor this last week. I know they were sending out some of the last figures, so tonight I was actually going to show how I fill some of these gaps real quick before I start painting. I've got Pyro. I was thinking of just leaving him black, but he's probably going to look better painted, so haven't started on him at all. Haven't even built Wolverine. And this is the one I'm super excited about. Is Black Panther. So
Nice.
yeah, he's.
How are you gonna? What kind of? How are you gonna do the black? Because I think
You know what? Because so I've done 2 of the box arts for Black Panther. I didn't do this one, but I did 2 of the more recent ones, and both times they asked me to do sort of purplish black because there's something he has some power or something that's purple. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat help me out there. I don't know the fluff completely.
This is like kinetic burst thing.
Yeah. That's it. Like kinetic something or other. So, but I mean, his armor's just all black. So maybe if I go along with that kinetic burst or something, maybe I can put some sort of lighting thing. Like maybe it's channeling into his hands or something. Or I don't know. Maybe this particular Black Panther doesn't have that, but. I don't know. I think it's a cool pose. I like it. So
It's a great pose.
I'm excited about painting this one. And then, do I have any other models? I think that's it. Like I said, Wolverine's not built yet, so whatever. It is what it is.
You're the same model that Matt has, right?
Yeah. So mine will look way different. I think I'm just going to do them traditional. I'll let you guys do the crazy stuff because I just have. I have been so stinking busy lately, like it is just ridiculous. So, most of it on non-commissioned stuff. It's like Christmas presents and everything, but I still got to get all the commissions done. So, good to go. Got to pay those bills. But, all right. So, Anthony, you were gonna. What were you gonna paint tonight?
I was gonna paint. Oops, one sec. Let's turn my camera back on. Okay. Let's see. Yes, no, maybe so. Oh, there. Now can you see?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Got it.
let's not doing sunspot.
It looks even better all blurry like that.
Blurry the butt.
It's like I'm not gonna focus at all. There we go. Oh, cool. Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
So I kind of converted his base to make his explosion a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it has some extra like little concrete chunks. And so I was thinking about just doing the inking part of him. And then maybe get started on.
Great. Let's do it.
Pretty cool. You want to go first, Aaron? You want to show us how you fill your gaps? Yeah, please.
Sure. Let me just make this a little bigger. Make you guys a little bit smaller.
Look at my paint. Okay.
And then I will. While we're doing this, you guys can share how you would fill gaps. Everybody does it differently.
You know what? Fill gaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I've seen like my Trent Dennison from Australia. He was doing a bunch of Marvel stuff at one point, and he started filling his gaps, and he just used like PVA glue or something and slopped it in, and it was perfect. And I'm like, I tried it, and it did not work nearly as good.
He's got that special Australian type. That's why.
Is that what it is?
No.
That's what we think it is.
Yeah, they don't allow that stuff in the States for reasons.
Ah, is that it? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
The legal substances. Oh, great. So where did my sculpting tool go? Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I gotta go find it.
Oh, Pete's on. Hey, Pete.
Howdy.
Pete and Heather are both from our Chicago paint, paint team group, Chicagoland paint team.
Cool. Hey, Pete. Yeah, you guys had that art show, right? That just finished up.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, it was really great. Like because the art center has like a membership, so there's a lot of people that are into like fine art or music or whatever, who just go to all the exhibits that the art center puts on. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of people who had no exposure to miniatures at all, just come and check out the exhibit, and they really loved it. So it was really cool.
Yeah, that's what I found when I had my fine art show is that like people have never seen a miniature before. They go freaking nuts over it. It's pretty cool. I love it.
Yeah,
And I saw the pictures from the show. It looked really nice.
mm,
You guys
yeah,
did a good job.
yeah. I mean, uh, Bob and Kyle put a lot of work into getting it all together, so it was really
Yeah, it
cool.
looked really professional. You guys really represented well. It's good.
Super professional. Yeah, it's really cool. Like I think Kyle, Bob, and Chris, Kyle's brother, wrote up like all the cards and stuff. Like to explain each section of the exhibit is really cool.
Yeah, that sort of thing is really important, is that and like having some like prints and stuff. That's what I was telling Kyle.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool to see. We got Doug Grizzly in the house. What up, Doug? Welcome, bud.
Yeah, we've actually had a couple new subscriptions and everything. We're rolling. We're rolling.
Nice.
Okay, so or followers, whatever. So this is Abe's epoxy sculpt. I absolutely love this stuff. I used to use milliput. I don't know if you guys ever used milliput. Highly toxic, makes your fingers numb, and also will break your entire body out if you're allergic to it. So it's good to switch from that to something that maybe doesn't do that. But
Yeah, I use Abe's as well. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's just amazing. And so it is, as Patrick Keith once eloquently said, it is the cheapest putty you can get.
Really?
That is not the case anymore for the small, for this size. This size is like $20 for like this amount of putty. It's a two-part, so you get both sides. But if you just got a pound of it, it's super cheap. Like it's like the same price. So 8 ounces or like a pound. Same price pretty much. So you just get a pound. But I like it because it's very much like milliput where it will thin with water. So like in a case like this, let me see if I can even get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I recommend this size for people
That's the
actually
size I got.
because over time it will get like a little funky looking. See how it looks like sort of orange on there?
Yeah.
But that's not a big deal. So if that happens to your stuff, just like, use it anyways. Honestly,
It's
it
not like
doesn't
green
matter.
stuff where it gets all, or like, have you ever had milliput get the skin on it and then when you mix it, it's all clunky? Abe's doesn't do that, so it's
But you
definitely,
do want to make sure you get this thing tight because it is possible for it to get kind of like chunky.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
is that 8 ounce each tub of that? Is that 8 ounces,
These
Matt?
ones are 8 ounce. Like this is the eight
Yeah,
ounce
these are
thing,
8 ounce. Yeah,
but the one
these
that
ones are
Matt
8 ounce.
has. Oh,
These
that.
say 8 ounces
Oh,
each.
okay.
So this is
So
eight.
maybe
This
this
is
is
eight. So
4 ounces.
16
I don't know.
total.
Yeah, 16
Yeah, it
ounces.
must
This
be.
one's just 8 ounces. But
Oh,
And
okay.
this will last you a really long time, and you can mix it with any other two-part putty too.
yeah,
I have
it's awesome.
have I have
Sorry.
this one Magic Sculpt, 8 ounces. I've had this for like 15 years. I don't know. And it's still okay.
So I got
Yeah.
the size that Matt got, and then I just pare them down to the smaller container, so I don't have to carry a huge like I think I actually got the 1 pound or the 4 pound pack. It's really big.
Yeah, you can get even bigger ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I've had it for years now, and I just keep filling up the smaller container. So, um,
I really like mixing it 50-50 with green stuff.
Yes, that works too.
That makes it like kind of almost like a super putty. Because the Aves, like, if you're doing anything really thin, it can be so hard that it becomes brittle. But if
Yeah.
you mix it with the green stuff, it solves that problem completely.
Yeah.
And unlike green stuff, it won't tear or anything. You can sand it and stuff, so it's
Right.
nice.
Right. So those are the pluses. You can sand it. You can thin it with water, which is great. So if I put this on a little bit rough, I can come back with a paintbrush, just lightly wet, and I just run the paintbrush on top of it and smooth it out completely.
Do you ever use your spit? I like using my
I
spit.
do.
It like
I do
looks
use
pretty
my
good.
spit. That's another reason I switched from milliput, because milliput's so toxic. You really, really don't want to ingest it.
Mm.
So,
I didn't realize it was that toxic. Maybe I should switch too.
well, I found that out at a ReaperCon, and then my the guy I used to paint with in San Diego, Alan, he was highly allergic to it. So if he got it on his fingers or anything, it was weird.
Yeah.
His face would break out like
What?
crazy. Oh,
Mm.
my fin fell off.
Mm.
What's that? Crappy.
Hey, friend, Doug says that you're kind of hard to hear, so maybe you wanna.
Is it me? I'm hard to hear. Okay,
Yeah, I heard you.
let's double check. Got that turned up all the way. Check. All right.
Is it better, Doug?
I don't know why my mic on OBS is weird, but it just is. So I'll just kind of go around and I'll hit everywhere where I don't like the fact that there's a hole.
Hmm. Hey, do you worry about like like the edges of the epoxy sculpt? Does it like create like an edge?
No. And the
No.
reason for that is because I take a brush and I smooth it down. So the fact that it thins in water,
Mm-hmm.
I can get rid of any edges or anything. That's the one thing that it was really hard with green stuff,
Mm-hmm.
was avoiding that. Like you'd have like, so I have this seam right there that I filled,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be like a bump there when you're done. And then if that's green stuff, it's really hard to get rid of that. Like you have to carve it away with your knife. But with this, even if there is a little bit
Sand it.
after the fact, you can just file it.
Mm.
Yeah, you can just sand or file it down. It works really well.
Or scrape.
That's what I use.
Scrape works too.
Yep.
So yeah, I really dig this stuff, and it's like really fast. So I've also
I
got
do like the 50-50 mix. It sticks a little bit better. Like the initial stick,
yeah.
sticking it on is nicer.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's kind of nice about the mixture.
So I don't.
Because the Aves does not stick as easily.
Yeah,
as...
it's like kind of sticky at first, but it gets not sticky very quick. So you kind of got to put it on as fast as you can, and then do all your smoothing out and everything. But see that the not the mold line, but the gap right there is a little bit thicker than normal. I actually take a file, which I don't. Yeah, I've got a file right here. So I'll take a file and like let's say this is the edge of the piece, and there's another piece coming in right here. I just shave it at 45 degrees on both sides and make that gap bigger than it should be, and then it's really easy to dump putty in there and then just smooth it out.
Mm-hmm.
Super simple. So
Interesting.
So why this Thor, not the flying Thor?
I just really like this one. I mean, I would have if they had sent me the other one, but I specifically asked for this one. If they had sent me the other one, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But this pose is so good.
Yeah, it is cool. You've got kind of a classic look too, right? The classic Thor.
Yeah. He's been working.
Are you guys like what I'm really liking about the MCP stuff is that there's enough like open surface for you to play with and kind of interpret the volumes yourself a bit more artistic, like illustratively, right? Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the simplicity of the models as well.
Yeah.
I mean, but the poses are really like impeccable,
Hmm.
and that's so much better than having like a bunch of stuff hanging out from a model that's like a pose that's kind of boring.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I love about them, honestly.
Because
Poses are so much more important.
mm. Yeah, you can like actually go through the comics and like find like the reference pictures where they base their pose off of, and it's pretty sweet.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much rich
History.
material there, and they want the comics. They don't care about having a ton of stuff hanging off of a model.
Yeah.
They want things to be sort of streamlined and just
Mhm.
have a nice aesthetic to them, which
Yeah.
is all that matters.
Look the way they're supposed to look.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
I don't know how it got to this point where like um, miniatures had so much superfluous stuff added to them. I'm
Mm.
glad that things are kind of going the other way a little bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with the MCP stuff.
Yeah. I think that it's interesting because I think um, some people have the idea that the more detail is on a miniature, like the more
The better.
value it
The better.
has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a lot of like intricate stuff. It must be like a better figure, than I just.
So I had a friend who was a sculptor, and he got into that rut where it was like, if there was room on the belt, he was putting another pouch, because he felt like if he didn't, he was somehow giving you less value. It was
Yeah.
like, and I
Yeah.
was like, dude, you like, we need some room to play, man. Like we need your eyes need room to rest.
Mm.
Um, it's okay,
Yeah.
but also maybe he was just having fun. It's like, oh, good, I
Unless
get to
you're
make another
able
pouch.
to use,
Yeah.
as many pouches as you can get.
Coolio.
Like,
Okay,
can you
so that's
imagine if like a artist like Rembrandt was like, man, I gotta put a bunch more pouches on this guy.
he might he might
But
have. That might be some of the paintings we never saw. Like the first ones,
Yeah,
just
it's got like
covered.
12 skulls hanging off of this.
yeah,
Super funny. All right, let's
so I'd
grab
say he
this.
uses UV resin to UV resin. What do you typically use that for? Like water effects or what?
I mean, it's kind of like a. I mean, UV resin. The only advantage is that like you get to choose when it hardens, so
Mm,
you can kind of move it around and like wipe it off of places you didn't want it to go or whatever.
yeah.
you know. But it's kind of like a super glue that you can harden. It doesn't harden on its own. It's kind of nice.
Mm.
But I don't know. I think there's better things for water effects. I'd rather have regular resin. I think makes a better effect.
Yeah,
But
I think he was actually talking about using it as a gap filling.
Oh yeah.
as a
Um,
gap filler,
I've seen that, but I could see where it'd get a little messy. I mean, I guess it is instant, so then you could just file it right away. Um,
yeah. I mean, I
I don't
think
think
that
that
it
would be a
kind of
bad thing.
it is really hard. But like when you file it, it's a little gummy. I
Yeah.
mean, at least that's been my experience, and that's not great.
I think if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I would try
Yeah,
lots
if
of
it works
different
for
things, but
somebody, then that's fine. But
the thing about the Aves epoxy sculpt is since it's a two-part epoxy, it's gonna dry. It could dry underwater, or it'll
yeah.
cure. It won't dry. It will cure underwater. So I just put it on and paint over it. Like I've actually finished commissions where the putty was wet and the paint was dry, and I shipped it because it
I've
was,
done that for competition before too. Like remember Matt? I was like painting Chromac at your place or something one night.
Yeah.
Or
Uh-huh.
it was like my hotel room. I don't know. Like I dropped it and it broke, and I had to resculpt his arm, and I painted over it, and then submitted it to the comp.
Yeah.
Let me go and mixing. Water.
What's that explosion from, Aaron?
This is his base for
Or
Captain
for,
America for Sam Wilson.
nice.
And I did a really horrible job of gap filling on this, or I forgot to gap fill it.
Yeah.
So I just gotta. It's the other thing I like about doing gap filling after painting, especially with Aves. If you get the natural color or gray, it's much easier to paint over than like green stuff, because green stuff's that really dark green. And it
Yeah.
changes your color, so you kind of got to get over that before you can actually. And with the gray, it pretty much you just cover it. You know, it's a neutral color.
Yeah, I'm really not. I've become not a fan of green stuff for gap filling.
Yeah, I don't even
Green
use
stuff
any.
has some other things that I like about it. You know, the flexibility is
Yes.
nice for like things that you might break otherwise, but
Yeah.
and like I said, I like mixing it together because it kind of makes it super putty. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I liked mixing it with Milliput because it made that weird pea green color. And for some reason, I really like that shade of green.
uh,
Just weird things.
Why is your pea green, Aaron?
I don't know.
You get that
Yeah, they might have to go to the doctor.
yeah, probably. Probably get it.
Maybe I did. Maybe I filled one side and forgot to fill the other. I don't know. But yeah, see, Anthony, I can put it in like super rough, and then I just take the brush. Now you don't want to use like a brush that's not stiff enough. Like you need a kind of a little bit stiff brush, not too stiff, but stiff enough. And then it just sort of smooths it down. Perfect. Okay, sweet.
do you use any clay shippers?
I do have them. I just haven't. I not typically for the gap filling. Like the gap filling, I want to take something metal and just shove it in there. I am super annoyed though. I lost my favorite sculpting tool. It's somewhere in my house, but it's just gone. So now I have to use all these ones that I don't like the shapes of the heads at all.
Is it like dental tool?
I don't know what these are. They probably are. The one I usually use is the old GW one that has the little shovel on one end and the knife on the other.
Yeah.
Like it just works perfectly. But then I have all these weird ones. It's like this looks like an arrowhead, and then it's got a weird.
I think that shape is called like the Wax 5 or something like that.
Yeah, I really like that particular one. And then at
Yeah.
ReaperCon, I found a place that sold them for like $2 each. So I bought like 10 of them, and I lost all those too. So I'm like batting zero right now.
You guys ever
I
try
don't know.
tools?
Was that?
You ever try to make your own like sculpting tools?
Yeah, I made a few. I made one of my probably my primary sculpting tool is um these exacto like an exacto knife, and I polish the blades down.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're just like a polished smooth blade,
Mm-hmm.
and that one's really nice, like a really nice blade tool. Yeah, maybe I can find it. It needs to be repolished here, but yeah.
I had a, I had a oh nice so it's an exacto knife and you grind it down so it's not so sharp but it's more rounded.
Yeah, it's just smooth and like yeah, the edge is rounded. That's really nice tool. But like even those tools like the Wax 5 or whatever that you get in the pack, you want to be able to polish them.
Yeah, you gotta like
You know, you have to
the
polish them
shovel is
down.
too thick, so you gotta sand it down and polish it. And,
So you want to get these guys, these little like polishing sticks. You know, they have the really gritty one at like 180, and you just start at the low number and you work your way up to like this one that's like 7,000. I think they even have some there. Yeah. So it polishes it just like really smooths them down until it's like a mirror finish, and that's what you really want.
Okay.
And any of those tools, you can grind it, make a different shape out of it, and all sorts of stuff. You can even like just take a metal wire. Like one of my tools is like a metal wire that I got, and I just hammered it till it was like flat, and then polished that so to make a really nice like needle tool that was also sort of flat on the side, which is really useful. Yeah. You know,
Alfonso came over.
and then you mount that in a like a little dowel. You just yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I'll try that. Alfonso came over once and he was like showing me his sculpting tools. Get a little anvil and a hammer and then like a nail and a blowtorch, and then you just like blowtorch the nail so it's hot, and you use a hammer and you hit it until it's like flat, and so you make your own little sculpting tool. Just kind of interesting.
Yeah, the one I did was brass. So you
Brass.
can like hammer, you can cold hammer, you can cold shape like brass or copper. But yeah, steel or whatever, you'd have to heat it up and hammer it like that. But that tool would probably keep its polish better, you know, because it's steel, so it's harder. Yeah.
Try to figure with Sunspot. Do you think I should make his face like completely all black, or like partially black? Because when he turns all black, he turns the strongest, but then his face is just all black. Then so
I can't remember what he's supposed to look like, Anthony. I'll have to look it up.
yeah, his face, his like face and his hand is like all black when he turns into a superpower. So there's some guy on the Facebook group, yeah, did all black. I think he used like a Danta black. That's kind of interesting, but I don't know. Maybe I'll make his face like kind of like brown skin tone, and then turning into that black thing. I don't know. I want to make him kind of grayish looking. Oh, Scott's here.
Yeah, when your airbrush sounds like it's like whispering in my ear. It's like pss, 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 pss.
I'm spraying about this hard. Watch. That much paint's coming out.
It's like,
super high pressure, super little paint.
yeah. That could be like really useful.
Yeah.
Dodge is here. Airborne says when he loses a sculpting tool, he finds it in his wife's gardening kit or toolbox. Those dang wives stealing our tools, you know?
Good news is my Liz, I'm usually the one stealing her tools, so it works out.
Yeah, same here. I think I'll steal like a blow dryer. I used to. I have my own now.
She's like, listen.
I might do Sunspot's face like the front of the dark.
I'll be right back.
Cool. And Scott's here. What's up, Scott? Sorry we didn't let you know we were doing this. But
hey, Scott.
Gradual here. Where did my brush go? Hmm.
I'm really good at bringing half the stuff I need. Oh, I'm gonna need airbrushing stuff. Okay, I'll bring half of it, and then I'll still need to leave.
One of these days you'll learn to bring all of it.
Yeah, and that'll probably be the day I die.
You're like, I'm prepared.
Yeah. And that's all she wrote.
Right. Let's get this thing going.
Liz is at your funeral crying. She's like, why did you have to be so prepared?
Yeah. I told you. Never be fully prepared.
Although that's how you become a ghost, though, right?
Yeah. You just don't know you died.
Yeah. They're like, here's the rest of your airbrushing stuff. Now you can move on.
We don't need you anymore. Your work is done here.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see.
Yeah, it's the day one of my students shows up and does a better airbrushing class than me and more effective, easier to figure out. I'm like, all right. That's all she wrote. Kind of think I went too, well, maybe not. Kind of think I went too dark on the tips of those wings, and then now that I'm trying to put OSL on it, I have to fight that at first. But you know what? Who cares?
It's just OSL. It always looks good, Aaron.
No, that is not true. At all. I am the first to know. Hold on, let me bring up my my phone picture log, and I'll show you some really bad. No, that's true. This explosion sort of clips on so strangely. Keep like looking at it and going, no, that's not right. Oh no, it is right. We'll do some stippled explosion. That's what it is.
Looks good.
Who needs real explosion when you can stipple it, right? So the funny thing with this model I'm painting tonight, I did it on a Twitch stream before we started these Twitch streams. And I was like, okay, that's part 1, and then I'll do part 2 and finish it off in a week or something. That was like a year ago. Like, holy cow, I gotta finish this. I mean, he's in my army too. I used him in my last game with sliced bread, and he did pretty good. But I'd also like to use, because we only play with painted miniatures, and so in that case, sliced bread has all the painted miniatures, so I can only use like 1 or 2 of my own. So I'm gonna start getting some of these done. I can start playing with fully painted dudes.
Yeah, you gotta play fully painted.
Yeah. I think that's starting to kind of work. Get a little shine on his foot, his boots. Yeah, when I first saw this model online, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be playing that one. I just didn't like the pose. I didn't think it looked very good. And then I bought it because Sliced Bread told me it was really good in the game, or yeah, I needed it. And so I got it. I'm like, well, whatever. And then I put it together. I'm like, oh my gosh, this figure is amazing. One of my favorite ones.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah. That'll happen on like box arts and stuff. Like I get the concept art and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I can't wait to paint it. Then I start painting it, and for whatever reason, it doesn't translate very well, and I end up hating it. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, sometimes that it goes the other way, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
I had another one for Flying Frog actually, where I got the model and I was like, I really don't like this model. It's not my cup of tea. Like whatever, but I'll paint it. Well, obviously I'm gonna paint it. It's my job. And then I started painting it, and it turned into one of my favorite models that I've ever painted for them. That was just so weird how that switched when I was painting it.
Like, how does that happen? Is it just because like you get some kind of connection with it as you're painting? Or?
I think it's my like maybe expectations. Like you're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna look so cool. But the like let's say the reference photo is not a true 3-dimensional thing. So then when you actually see it in 3 dimensions, it's not. It just doesn't work, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to a movie and all your friends say this is the funniest movie you'll ever see, and so your expectations are it's going to be the funniest movie I've ever seen. Then you get in and it's just funny, and you're like, oh, that was so disappointing. kind of like that.
Got him! Got him!
We got Scott in the house. Airborne just subscribed with the Prime. Thank you. So Anthony, you didn't go to Monty this year, did you?
Or I did not. No, I'm gonna go this next year though. Are you gonna go? Are you guys gonna go?
I've already.
I'm going to World Expo next year, so I'm not sure I can do both.
Cool. I've already kind of conceded that I'm never going to Europe. It's just not in the cards for me. So that way, if it ever does happen, I'll be super excited. But I swear, like, it used to be every year I was like, I'm going to Monty this year. And then it wouldn't happen, and I'd be kind of depressed. Yeah. Well, thanks for the subscription, Patron.
Are you doing a World Expo, Anthony?
No.
Where's it at?
At Versailles, France.
I don't really. I don't know. I feel like the World Expo or Skill Mall. I feel like they're so big that it's hard for me to really take everything in. I don't feel like I connect as much as like in the smaller shows.
I mean, Monte is gonna be awesome for that. So
yeah, that's kind of thing.
You've been before though, right, Anthony?
Monte?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went like 2 years ago. I loved it. It was like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean it's great. I've been trying to go back since I went, which is like right before COVID, but just hasn't worked out every year.
Yeah.
Like this year was Cruise Hammer.
You go to Cruise Hammer every year though?
Yeah, but it's different times a year.
Oh, okay.
Is that Frontline that puts that
on? They're at it, but they're not really the ones, putting it on. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Because I think I saw like Reese was in a picture or something. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a Frontline event, but they are allowed to go to other events, I guess.
No, Reese was there, and it's got like the Frontline branding and stuff, but it's kind of put out by some of their friends from the
gotcha
scene. Yeah, but Reese was there. I got to meet him, his wife, and
he just
some
got
of their
married,
friends.
right? Well, I think he got married a couple years ago, but
yeah, he's living down in. Yeah, he's down in I think Puerto Rico.
He's in the Florida Everglades,
This
right?
is in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Wait, he lives in Puerto Rico?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
If I don't know, tax reasons
Texas?
probably. I don't know.
he's on the. He's on
You're
the,
gonna have to
he's
ask
on the
him why he
run.
lives in Puerto Rico.
That's not. I'm not trying to talk crap or anything. Like, he's like, and I'm out.
I mean, Puerto Rico is still America.
That's true. It's just harder to find you. Maybe his wife's from Puerto Rico. I don't know.
No, his wife's from Mexico.
Okay. We just found out. Yeah, because they moved to. They were in, not Washington, in Las Vegas. They moved the whole company there. So I guess the company's still in Las Vegas, or did they move the whole companies down in Puerto Rico? Like, it doesn't seem like
I
that'd be
don't
a
know
good
about
place to
that.
have
I
a
don't
company
know.
that you have to ship back to the United States. But
No, I'm sure that the company is doing things differently. But yeah, it was cool.
I always thought Frontline was in California.
it was. It was It was Southern
Okay.
California, then it was Northern California, or maybe Reese used to be at my game store. Like, he used to play there, and then I think they moved to Northern California, and that's when they started Frontline. Like, it was, in somebody's garage or something. Typical rags to riches story, or something like that. Good times.
I think this Wolverine's almost done.
Hobby with Tim says it's criminal that y'all only have 10 viewers right now. Hey, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think
We're the best kept secret in.
Yeah, tell your friends, I guess.
Yeah, tell your buddies. So part of it is I'm not very good at math or getting the times correct for when we're actually doing a stream. So that kind of screwed us up tonight. And then like a week ago, I was like, hey, I should probably post something about the stream. And then today I was like, oh yeah, shoot, I better post something about the stream. I'm just really bad at it. But we do actually have the schedule up for the next few months. But that is also, I mean, if our schedules change or something, we're going to have to change it. So it is what it is. But at least we do this once a month. Kick it old school.
Sunspot is so hard to ping on screen because he's like such a weird orientation.
Yeah, we're trying to remember to look up just to see where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you could probably paint on screen too, right?
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Good.
Yeah, let me
I just finished this
I have
Wolverine.
full control over all the mechanisms. Oh. And now we got the three-way going. That's nothing sexual there.
So I did that sort of really dark shadow you can see there going between his legs. It's around that side of him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it always looks a little weird.
Your purple and those browns look pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I like this version of the costume. I thought it was kind of cool, so I thought I'd go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna call him done. I might do something just a little bit on that little X-Men symbol. Because I think in this costume, like there's no X-Men symbol there. It's like just a regular belt. So maybe I'll make it yellow.
Cool. Alright.
Let's see if we can't put this thing together and not mess it up.
Mhm.
Well, looks like I forgot my glue. I'll be back, guys.
Aaron's still got some life in him because he keeps on forgetting things. He can't be totally prepared.
Hobby with Tim. Oh yeah, Hobby with Tim.
There we go.
Yeah, and Samuel Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks good with the rest of them.
Oh, the rest of the painting crew.
Yeah, I got him here on the side table, on the side here. Yeah, let rest of the crew.
Do you have a wide angle you can show us?
Kind of got him. Maybe. Oops. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's like a little bit from above, I guess.
Yeah. Let them put to sleep.
Yeah. Have to set him up for everybody to see together. Maybe at the end of the stream.
Yeah, I love these group shots. These group shots are cool.
I'll work on Rogue next. I mean, I just love how this comic book style just works at a distance. You know, it just looks really effective.
It does a lot of work for you.
Yeah, but I think I need to do some more work on her face and kind of clean things up and make it a little tighter.
That explosion looks fantastic.
The face is not an easy one to do.
Yeah, it's a difficult one on this model.
Yeah. OFL looking good, Aaron.
What's that?
The OFL is looking good.
It's starting to come together. Now that I got the explosion on there, it's definitely not. It needs something.
Mm-hmm.
This is why all models should be just a dude flying along.
Just a dude on the flame, you know.
Want all models to be hot dudes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They can't all be me, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
There's something really satisfying about spinning the pin and breaking the seal and just pops and then spins around. I don't know. I like that.
What are you talking about?
When you're taking the pin out from the foot, you can't just pull it because it will never come off. But you spin it, and when it kind of pops, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get lucky. Where did mine? Did I throw away my putty? No. I just have to make some more. Whatever. Sometimes I forget to fill the hole.
Samurai Jacks dodging snow squalls. I was in a snow squall once. It was like crazy. I mean, it was like the snow was coming like sideways, upside down, everywhere, and I was driving, and I was like, oh, I was gonna die.
Ellie and I were in Kansas one time, and we were driving and got hit with an ice storm.
Yeah.
And you're just driving along, and you know, the ice just starts to close in from the sides of your windshield.
Oh yeah.
And of course, like instantaneously, the windshield wipers, they don't do anything, right?
Yeah,
So it's just like closing in from the outside until you're like looking through this like little slit in your windshield, you know, driving along on the freeway, and what you see through that little hole is pretty disturbing. You know, because like some of these guys, they're just like, ice storm, I don't care. You know,
Ain't no thing.
yeah, they're driving by you at like 70 miles an hour. They're gigantic trucks, and then you're driving down the road, and you just see them like flipped over, like in the ditch. Sometimes it's just like, okay.
what I hear like from like people that live there is that like they try to beat the storm. You have to like drive through it. The faster you drive through it, sometimes you know maybe you get through it faster.
Yeah,
or you're,
sometimes you end up in the
Yeah,
flipping up
or you
side in the ditch.
yeah,
I think they
Sure,
factor
that
that
works
in.
until it doesn't. Yeah, but yeah, you're totally right. Like that's what they're thinking. They're like, man, I gotta get ahead of this storm. Eventually, we did get ahead of it. Yeah, but
yeah.
we were going like a reasonable speed, you know. But it was pretty funny. Well, not funny, but we survived.
It was, yeah.
It's funny when you're not actually driving, when you're not actually there anymore. When you think back on it, yeah, that was a edge experience. This model is so cool.
The road.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, you know.
I don't know. Her pose is amazing. You talking about good poses?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No. Good conversation. Mm.
It's pretty funny. I was totally talking to you guys. I had the mic off.
Oh no. Like, why are they not responding to me? Are they ignoring
Well,
me?
it got really quiet, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like, what if, we're all like sort of dialed in the zone, and then we don't talk for like an hour or something, and people are just like, what the heck?"
It's just dead air.
Except that was exactly what it was because I wasn't actually talking to anybody.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Aaron?
Oh, I speaking of like getting sort of like locked in, you start painting, you just go into your own little fantasy world. I was painting the other day, and I full on that happened got totally dialed in, and then Liz needed to go to the store to get something at Kroger, and so we went there, and I was just kind of like in my own little world, and she's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm like still painting, like, but I'm walking around here at Kroger." It's one of those things. Colors.
So to the Midwest people in the chat, like if the Midwest is getting so dry, it's like ridiculous. I'm using a wet palette, and the paint still is like drying on wet palette. It's just like, did that happen to you guys ever? Like,
Yeah, it's been really dry lately.
dry?
My wet palette's completely dry right now. Like, yeah. So yes.
The worst.
I hate that.
Washington State's got like great weather for painting.
Well,
Just
good
saying.
for you.
So no.
Is it always humid-ish?
Well, it's not. It's never like 100% humidity here. It's never like that. It's never muggy. It's always like 60, 50 or 60% humidity.
Mm.
Like Washington has very consistent. Generally, before the weather started to kind of like change, it was very consistent, like very predictable.
Mm.
Um,
How's it changing now? Is it more wet?
we just have more variation. It'll get hot, and then of course this smoke now, which is the worst weather ever. But
Just from
But
fire?
well, from like all of the forests in Canada and California and Oregon are burning.
Is it still burning still?
Yeah, every year, they
Mm.
don't really talk about it that much on the news, but it's pretty bad.
Mm.
And the smoke is choking. It's just like you can't go outside, or you shouldn't go outside. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, smoke is the worst weather, but it wasn't that bad this year. We got lucky. We kind of dodged the smoke a little bit. Yeah. Oregon's a lot is getting the smoke real bad, especially if you live in Eugene or something like that. Jeez.
Mhm.
They've been hit hard the last 3 years or something like that.
Are the beetles still pretty bad? That beetles that eat the pine trees and stuff.
That's more of an Eastern Washington thing,
Okay.
I think. It's definitely not out here in the peninsula. Like, the nice thing about where I live is that it gets about the same amount of rain as Seattle, but twice as many sunny days.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a lot more sun than Seattle does.
Yeah.
It's just that it rains like heavier here, because like it doesn't rain heavy in Seattle. Like, sometimes they'll have it in. Yeah, they'll have it in TV shows and it's just like, no, that's not what it's really like, because it will be like full on rain or whatever. It's like, no, that's not Seattle. Like Seattle will be like mist that's flying in sideways at you. Like that's why like Seattleites they don't use umbrellas, because there's no point. It will just like come right in past like underneath your umbrella. Like yeah. But out here on the peninsula, we get proper rain. But we're not in the rainforest area. It's like the same amount of rain as Seattle does, like as far as precipitation level. But yeah, as far as like painting goes, I've had to kind of like learn to be like, like to give people advice as far as that goes. Like the worst thing as far as your paint drying to have is like sometimes people will have like a fan in the room or something like that. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Like a fan will dry your paint out the fastest, like airflow across your workspace. But yeah.
Yeah, I've had to use like a humidifier in my room actually in the winter.
Yeah, man, Chicago gets so dry.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. The most frustrating thing when you like are painting eyes or something, and your paint keeps drying your tip no matter what.
Yeah. Gotta like load up the brush extra heavy.
Yeah, yeah, and then but then you're painting eyes. Like you don't load too much, and then I'm flooding the eyes. It's like
Well, if you load it up heavy, then you can like roll the brush real quick to get the fresh paint near the tip, and then do a brush stroke, and then do it again. It's like the best you can do, I guess.
yeah.
Yes, Scott, that is Matt's Rogue. He did it on the cruise. On Cruise Hammer.
Yeah, this is 2.5 hours if you can believe it. It's like the same length as
Let's all throw it together.
like yeah. I kind of blew their minds there on the cruise. They're like, that took you 2.5 hours. I'm like, well, technically it took me 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, like
30 years and 2.5 hours.
yeah. uh, but I don't know. Sometimes this one, I like. They don't all look great, but this one actually turned out like I surprised myself, I guess.
Those
I'm
are
kind of
cool ones because then you're like, if I put another couple hours in, what will it look like? Like it's just like it's working. Everything's working.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel like with the quick stuff, you can get is like when the brushstrokes work together, you can just get the light the right way, and it just
Yeah, when it's flowing, you go with it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I found that with these figures, I've had to like consult a lot of anatomy books and stuff,
Hmm.
just to, like because there's so much real estate to paint, and you want to make sure you capture all those muscle groups right. So that's been kind of fun for me to explore a bit more.
Yeah, learning about anatomy when I was sculpting from life when I lived in Seattle.
Hmm.
That made me a lot better painter, I think.
Yeah, no, totally.
I
I
can
can
see that.
totally see that.
It's kind of interesting. Some of the mistakes that people make when they're painting, sculptors also make.
Mm,
Like making, muscles that aren't like that aggressive. They like the bumps between or the crevices between the bumps of the muscles are not like actually that deep. Sometimes people will paint them too aggressively.
mm,
But sculptors can do the same thing.
yeah,
The abdominals is like the biggest culprit, but a lot of other muscles too.
yeah. I have definitely had to paint like shadows in a lighter color just to try to even out the sculpting often.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good tip. I've done
Hmm.
that a lot too.
Hmm.
That's also just like kind of a general tip for when you're painting women too, because they
Hmm.
have more subcutaneous fat, so like those curves are going to be always be softer. It doesn't matter if they're really like really buff women or not. Um like Olympic level athletes, like women will have like twice as much subcutaneous fat as men.
Hmm. That's a good point.
It's same level of muscle tone, but
That's why they're prettier than us.
yeah. Just one of the reasons they're prettier than us.
Yeah, there's many reasons, but
Yes, so many. So for that reason, like, you know, like having a lower contrast range or a tighter or it's more like you take your contrast range, you kind of like push it sort of more towards the highlight.
Yeah.
So your shadows shouldn't be like really, really dark. They should be like more like a mid-tone.
Yeah, and that's a really big tip for painting women's faces too. You know,
Yeah.
because painters paint the faces a bit too much contrast and a little too dark in the shadows, and it just looks really kind of haggard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely true.
Yeah. Unless you're going for a haggard face, then it's cool too.
Yeah, she's seen some shit. She's... I should quit while I'm ahead right here.
Yeah, remember when it looked good? I've had those models. You're like, oh, this looks fantastic. Let's keep going. And then you're like, what happened? The day they can make an undo button for miniature painting will be the greatest day ever.
Man. Or you want like go back a step kind of thing,
Yeah.
or 3 steps.
Believe me, with 3D sculpting, that is the nicest thing ever. Unless it's like 10 steps back, and then you have to like slowly go back because your computer's straining to remember all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. But Matt was about to, or you're about to disagree because I think I know where you're going.
Oh no, I don't know.
No, because but sometimes it's helpful to make mistakes, and sometimes you can turn it into something else that is actually kind of cool. You know?
Yeah. I know you should always view it that way, but it would be nice sometimes that you just undo. Don't put that there. Just put it over a little bit.
I mean, I think especially when people are starting out painting, like I feel like there's a tendency or maybe maybe a tendency to want to just redo mistakes, undo mistakes and just to start over. And I think that I feel like that sometimes is you can do a lot of actually kind of cool stuff because sometimes you just need more brushstrokes to make a surface look more interesting.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times things look bad until they don't, you know.
It's
And
true.
sometimes if you give up on it too early, like you'll have actually missed the mark.
Missed the boat.
Yeah.
So sometimes like that's why people struggle with certain techniques where it's like it's gonna look ugly for a while. It's not gonna look good the whole way through.
Yeah, when you're trying
I
to
feel
get
like
that optical illusion.
there's certain like methods of painting that they're almost like designed to never look bad, you know, like never look rough or never. They're like they're always gonna look good because you're painting like one little area at a time or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, you mean like when you post on Insta or something, and like
Yeah,
something that look impressive, even though it's in the beginning stages. So you paint one part impressive, and then is that what you mean?
yeah. There's definitely that that way of doing things, which I think is like, you know, there's a lot of disadvantages to painting that way.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it looks
but
cool for socials, but I feel like
yeah,
yeah.
it holds you back in so many different ways because you can't actually see what things are going to look like at the end until you've already committed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So especially like learning or whatever, I think it's harder if you're just doing it that way. And you might just be like obsessed with like having everything look good the entire way through. You know, whatever you worked on needs to look good, like in all stages. And it's like,
So unrealistic.
I don't know. It's actually better to kind of let go a little bit.
Scott says he's gonna have a stroke watching Aaron ram your black thumb all over that base. We put this man a cork and some blue tack stab.
He's got the black thumb.
I got the black thumb. I don't know how I got that. Must have been priming something today.
Yeah.
I don't think I. Oh, I know what I did. I fixed a Christmas present that I did for my kids, and I needed to reprime like the part that's supposed to look is just black. Without ruining the paint job, so that's what I did. But that was like a lifetime ago. That was like this morning. It didn't even count as today. This is actually the first real painting I've done all day. Feels good.
I haven't painted in so long. Work's been crazy. But I'm glad I'm with you guys. You know?
I hear you.
I always go on work trips, and I feel I always bring my stuff to paint, like always, and I never paint.
You never paint?
I never do.
Bryce Kokenor does that, but he actually paints because that's one of the few times he can paint is when he's on trips.
Yeah, both of you guys used to visit me when you were like when I was in Seattle.
Yeah.
I'd actually get you guys to paint
Yeah.
when you're on work. Bryce too. You'd come by.
Bryce is great.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him a bit.
Yeah, I haven't really seen his stuff lately.
He's doing a diorama for Golden Demons that is unbelievable.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I know what it
You know
is.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he told me about it. Yeah.
Dude, it's friggin' awesome.
Nice.
I would show a picture, but I don't know if he wants it out in the nether
No,
worlds yet.
yeah, you should show.
He's actually got paint on it. He's got it all put together. He had to make a box for it because he kept breaking it every time he traveled. And it's like at the point where there's some really there's some parts that are just so delicate they were breaking every time, and it was taking forever to fix them. So he made a special box for it that fits this diorama perfectly.
That's good because he's gonna need
problem.
that.
Yeah, I know. That's like, Bryce, how are you gonna get it to Golden Demons? I honestly don't think he's gonna finish it for this year, but it's awesome. It's just awesome.
Where does Bryce live? Doesn't he live in like
Reno?
I think it's Arizona or Nevada.
Reno, Nevada. Yeah, he's one of the really good guys in the hobby.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him much, but he seems cool. Sometimes I've spoken to him.
Hey Anthony, these little buckle things on Rogue, what color are those? Are those green or?
What buckle things?
Yeah, like on our upper chest.
Oh, it's the same green. Oh.
Okay.
Oh no, they're black. They're just straight black.
Oh, yeah, that's why I thought they might be black. Okay.
That's here. This is how it goes. Let's see. Yeah. Is that painted like that, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're black. At least in the Jimny Road, you know. Oh no. Guys, explosions are looking dope.
Good to go.
Yeah, I think we'll call Rogue done for now. I could always fiddle around with it. Or I could make that little bit look like a sausage. Kind of. The students of the
Okay.
class are like, make it look like a sausage. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to.
I'll do it. Make sculpt a hot dog bun. That'd be sick, dude. Totally do it. Hmm.
Everything's always blowing up. Not across the protocol.
Mhm.
That was a good sling blade. Like you hit the pitch perfectly. I don't know if you were trying that, but
Yeah, I think I do. I think I was. Yeah. Guilty.
Hmm.
good times.
Yeah.
Who's in your team, Aaron?
What's that?
Who's in your team?
Is this guy on my team?
Or who is on your team?
Oh, who is on my team? Basically all those people I showed before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I kind of figure it'll be one of those things where, like, if my team changes as I go, I really don't care. But I think my team's pretty solid, at least gameplay wise.
Hmm. Yeah, so you've been practicing your gaming?
Yeah, I had a game with Sliced Bread a few weeks ago.
Hmm.
I've been trying to. It's like the holidays, so it's hard to find times to hook up. But
Yeah.
so the cool thing is the game store that I discovered had a paint day on Saturdays. Um,
Hmm.
it's usually pretty light as far as people gaming. Although the last few weeks there's been a lot of people gaming. So, but I'll paint there for like 4 hours and then I'll play with Sliced Bread for another few hours and then go home. So
Cool.
I get to paint and then I get to get my butt kicked. So I'm really getting a good idea of what it'll be like when Dallas kicks our butts.
Yeah.
But I'm having a lot of fun.
The game is fun because even if you're losing and getting butt kicked, you're gaining more power and you get to do more cool stuff. You know.
Yes, very very much so.
That's the nice mechanic.
I played and if you once you start learning how to use all your cards and everything too, like that definitely helps. I mean, if you're not, you're just gonna get pummeled, obviously. But like I had there was like this death ray laser or something that Hulkbuster can do
Hmm.
once in a game, and basically it's how did it work? Anyone on your team can use their power. So I basically powered up. I had like 11 power in this one turn,
Yeah.
and I had to do it quick because once your dude's dead, you can't call it down anymore. So I was really like, kind of against the clock, and so I had like 11 power one turn because he kicked my butt in one turn, and so I did that and I almost killed Apocalypse
No,
with
no,
that one shot. It was
really.
amazing. And then I knocked him out, and then I ended up killing him later on in the game. So I mean, it really did help. But But if I hadn't used that card, oh dude, because Apocalypse just regenerates the whole game. He is nasty.
So you have to like try to take him out at once, like.
Yeah, you really need to. So luckily, so I didn't know that my opponent sliced bread. He was like, yeah, you really want to take this guy out as fast. Like it's kind of like Necrons. You got to kill the whole squad, otherwise they just keep coming back. So he told me that, and that's what I did. But it still took like 3 or 4 rounds. And when I finally killed him, they had taken all the objectives the entire game. So it was just like the game. I mean, there was no way I was going to win, but it was like a moral victory, a little bit.
So I hear that like there are okay, like this is all like hearsay
Hearsay?
because I don't play enough, but they say that when your opponent brings like a crazy kaiju guy like that, they say you're supposed to like avoid them or something and just try to get around them.
I mean, you could, but the problem is with his 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, they all work together, and so it just once he's gone, they can't do any of the 4 horsemen stuff. I think. So I was like, and it was like almost immediate that the whole 4 horsemen of the apocalypse rules started coming in play, and just wrecking my day. So, like, yeah, I mean, you could just ignore it, but at the end of the day, it probably wasn't the best idea. That was Airborne said it's the Helios laser bombardment. Yeah. Oh, I was so excited. I mean, it landed and it got like 7 or 8 wounds. It was so awesome. And then he rolled really bad for his saves. So I was like, I was in a good spot mentally. And then he crushed me. So it worked out.
Have you played the game yet, Matt?
I just haven't been able to get a game in because I don't have a game store near me.
Mm.
Kind of out in the boonies. I think after the new year, I'll see if Ron might want to meet up.
Is Ron close by?
He's like 90 minutes for me, 2 hours. But we can meet in the middle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I told Matt if he doesn't get a game in, we'll let him go last. So he can kind of watch us and see if he can pick something up.
I don't know. Yeah. It's been very hectic. I had the master class at Virgo's, and then off to Cruise Hammer, and that was been sick for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the game is pretty intuitive. I feel like you just gotta play a couple, like maybe get like 2 or 3 games in, then you'll have to figure out how to play it, and then you just have to like know your characters and what they do.
Yeah. I'll prepare.
But it's
We'll
not as
see.
hard as like Warhammer where you have 27 units and all of them you have to know what they do, and it's you got 6 or 7 guys, or maybe not even that.
Yeah.
That are actually playing.
We're definitely not gonna know, what Dallas has. So.
Yep. Okay, I think I got my sunspot. It's still done.
What's that, Anthony?
So I think I got my sunspot very still done. I'm debating whether I should do more detail. Yeah. Keep going, I guess. Ooh, tabletop simulator. Have you tried that, Matt? Tabletop simulator?
No.
I used to play it for like Warhammer Underworlds, and it was pretty decent. But apparently the MCP one's good. So
Oh, maybe I could
yeah,
play some games in that.
yeah. If you're up for that, maybe you can try getting some games in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really explored it very much, but maybe we should.
Keep forgetting this guy's only attached by his wing. So like I'll touch the other wing and the whole thing bends down. I'm like, whoa! Hold up.
Airborne says, wait, Airborne, you converted 12 guys from 40K to playing MCP?
Nice.
It's a cool game though. I really enjoy it, you know. Okay. Hmm.
I wonder if they're gonna make some more Marvel movies coming up here.
Yeah. I think, did I hear there's going to be a new Matrix movie?
Really?
I think so. Yeah,
Did you see the newest one?
which one?
I don't know, Matrix Restarted or whatever. I can't remember what it's called.
Um,
The fourth one.
Matrix again.
nope. Is it, did you see it? Is it good?
It was all right. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of like the later Matrix. I mean, the first one's great, but
Oh,
I'm
the
a big
second.
fan of Matrix 3.
Yeah.
So it was. I think that they did some interesting stuff with the source material, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't get uh, much love. But I don't think it was as bad as some people thought. But
Mm.
I only saw it the one time though, so I don't know. It's just kind of hard to live up to the very first one, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think I really like the second one too. Is that the one with the architect?
The second one had like it had the freeway chase scene and those ghosts or whatever. can't remember what they're called.
Oh, those squid things?
No, like in the Matrix, there was like those two albino dreadlocked guys that never talked.
Yeah.
But I had the freeway chase scene, which was rad.
Hmm.
I'm surprised they never made a Matrix Majors game.
Yeah, that's some good IP though, huh?
There hasn't been that much licensed stuff from the Matrix. There was a video game back in the day, which was okay, I guess. Yeah, I wonder if the younger generations think the Matrix still holds up, or if they're like, man, this movie's so derivative. It's like, no, you fools. Or for a while there, like you weren't a freaking movie unless you had a Matrix reference in it, basically. Or a TV show rather. Like every TV show did a Matrix episode.
Yeah, I'm not start playing fast too, Matt. To get done.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I gotta go quick now.
It seemed like you had a lot of stuff painted though.
Yeah, but that's my a lot of that stuff is my X-Men stuff from before too, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
I think I've done like of my X-Force, it's just Deadpool, Weapon X, Cable, and Sal's. I guess almost half done. So I need to step it up.
Who's left? Are you gonna do like Bishop or anything?
Yeah, Bishop,
Yeah.
Bishop, Sunspot. Yeah. I have Maverick. It's like what Weapon X plus X-Force, I guess.
Is Beast any good in the game? Probably not.
He's good. Yeah.
Is?
Yeah, he's good. Because he's actually pretty survivable. If he rolls like what's something if he rolls like skulls or something, he gets a power, and then he can spend power to like reroll dice or something. I think something like that. But he's like a medium, like a large base or medium base with a medium move, so you can actually get pretty far, you know.
Oh, do I have him on the wrong size base then?
What size base? Oh yeah, wrong size base.
Okay, I'll have to switch that.
I say you leave it and let Dallas squirm. It's the wrong. It's.
It's the key to downfall. You know, like, future.
wonder what book I should have reading. Like War and Peace. Something by David Foster Wallace. Maybe. Infinite Jest. Maybe chat wants to suggest some books for Beats to be reading.
Crowdsource it. War and Peace does sound like a movie you could be reading, so.
War and Peace. Gotta get into it. Just gotta get into it.
So true. Airborne says, asking kids about the Matrix now is like when people asked us about Star Wars when we were kids.
Yeah.
I was like the middle generation. I think I didn't see Star Wars in the theaters, but I remember when like the Ewok stuff came out.
My parents took me to see Star Wars in the theater when it was like back in theaters.
Uh,
Into I saw it at the Cinerama in Seattle, which is like this big screen.
You remember it?
Yeah. I mean, I was into I mean, it was the first time I had seen Star Wars, so I was into it. But yeah. One thing I've noticed is that like whatever Star Wars you first watch, that's your favorite. So like a lot of people like the prequels better than the original trilogy because that was the first Star Wars they watched. Yeah, yeah.
I think the first one I watched was Return of the Jedi.
So you've watched Jedi first.
Yeah. I think because I remember the Ewoks, those were the first, and then I was like, and then I watched the other two, and I remember being kind of freaked out with.
Where's the Ewoks at?
Yeah, where are my Ewoks at? This movie doesn't make any sense.
Interesting. I'm doing the OSL first. You guys ever do that?
Mm-hmm.
Never. Dare you? We're just cruising on away.
Yeah, yeah. Get in the zone.
I find that when I'm painting, I prefer to paint in the zone. It makes it hard to
Is that-
I need someone to like talk at me or else I'm just like, meh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we all kind of like to paint in that happy place where we can just kind of turn our brains off,
Mhm.
yeah, sometimes it's
forget
hard to
about the
get
world.
there.
Yeah, for real.
That's why it's hard to start, stop.
Yeah.
I'll tell Liz, give me like 3 or 4 hours, and then we'll go do the running around. Because if I do it right now, I'm gonna have 2 sessions that are definitely not in the zone. When I'm not in the zone, bad things happen. Or, in my case, nothing good happens.
Have you guys watching that Dune? The
No, I
No,
saw it. Is it
is it
good?
any good?
yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's kind of interesting. It's really interesting. What's his face? Ragnar Lothbrok is in it. He plays
Oh, yeah.
that character. So it's pretty cool.
We've been watching Ted Lasso and Only Murders in the Building, which is
Oh,
unbelievably good.
I think you're. What's that about?
Ted Lasso is a soccer coach. He's an
We
American
we
football coach who becomes a soccer
too.
coach, and it's super funny. And then Only Murders in the Building is Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Oh,
Oh my god, it's like the best show.
Heard that's a really good show.
And it's
you're
got
right.
Selena Gomez is in it too. She's really good. And but I always tell Liz every time it comes on and it has Selena Gomez's name, I go, "Oh my gosh, Selena's in this? Is this before she died?" Because Selena died, um, but Selena Gomez didn't. So and then she gets mad at me. So I like that for some reason.
I'm watching. Ellie and I had never seen the show Lost, so we're watching that.
I've
And
never watched it
lot
either.
like it's like the best. It's a soap opera. People don't tell you that, but it is. So just be aware of that. And it's probably like the best soap opera since like Twin Peaks, probably. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. We just started the final season or whatever,
Okay.
but I can't imagine like having to watch this show like one show at a time. Like waiting an entire week for the next episode. I don't know. It's much better if you can binge it, I think.
It is,
Yeah.
but I do miss something about like, oh my gosh, it's almost Wednesday.
Yeah.
I prefer watching a show a week at a time. A lot. She hates it, so it's hard for us to watch stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to watch more than like 2 episodes at a time. And she's like,
Yeah, but this show there's just so much stuff going on. Also, they waste your time a lot on the show
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They do a lot of time wasting. It's kind of like we kind of like talk over the show and make fun of it a little bit, but we also like it. So
It all works out.
it's fun. It's fun to predict what's going to happen as well with that show. I'm pretty good at it. There's been like literal times where I'm like, he's gonna pull this random thing out, and he does.
okay. Is it? But it's like so random, right? It's like like so.
Once you get into the brain of the writers, you could
Okay.
Pretty
you can
much
forget.
guess.
Yeah, you can predict it. It's really pretty fun actually. It's part of the fun of the show. I recommend it. Unfortunately, there's like a lot of episodes in some ways. In some ways, it's unfortunate. Like I am not used to there being 27 episodes in a
Oh
season.
my gosh, yeah.
Something like that. 25 episodes. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't get into shows that are like too many episodes. You know, I don't know. Like Breaking Bad couldn't do it.
Breaking Bad just made me feel bad watching that show, so I never finished it. It's a good show, but it makes me feel bad, so I don't want to watch it.
No.
Like, these are just terrible people. I don't like shows where it's just like all I'm watching is just terrible people doing terrible things to each other.
Airborne says, yeah, a bunch of episodes are just pointless. I guess back to the last thing. Just writers trying to like trying to be lazy.
Trying to pad things out a little bit. I mean, but they'll have like padding. There'll be like one plot that's like the padding plot, and then there's like the actual plot going on. I don't know. It's a fun show to laugh at as well.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a soap opera. Oh my god, the love triangles, the timenesia. They get timenesia, which is like amnesia, but think you think you're like past version of yourself.
Oh really?
Yeah. There's timenesia in it. There's love triangles all over the freaking place. It's great. It is. There's like there's surprise pregnancies a lot, which is so it's totally a soap opera. Like it really is.
People
There's people who are like surprise related to each other,
Surprise.
like like I'm actually your sister. Like
that's so Star Wars.
Star Wars the first time it happens, but the second time.
One spot. Let's see. Have you guys been watching Arcane?
No.
Arcane is
It's good, but
what's
isn't
up?
it based off? It's like based off of a video game that I don't play, right? So
It's based off of it's based off of League of Legends,
yeah,
but
it's good though.
it's really good.
Have to check it out.
Yep. Do you guys have like a favorite kind of paints that you like to use?
acrylic.
Yeah,
What?
I use a lot of heavy body acrylics,
Hmm.
like Holbein, and I'll use Golden as well.
I use mostly Monument actually.
Hmm. Do you find does Monument ever get kind of gritty on you?
Not no, but that was the problem I was having with whatchamacallit, with Chimera.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that issue with Chimera too.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Is it just like paint drying around in the cap, or what's going on?
It was like as your session goes, like the paint on the wet palette, you get this weird consistency to it,
Hmm.
and it was like, okay, well, I gotta re-up that paint again, and I don't know, it just was annoying.
Yeah. No, I was getting that issue too with Chimera. But it's more so with certain colors would be worse than others.
Right.
I felt like the fleshy yellowy tones
The
were.
yellow was really bad. Yeah. It's just, and then I watch these other people that are using it like perfectly, and I'm like, okay, well, I just suck or something. But I mean, sometimes it is what it is.
Sometimes I think it might be bad batches of paint or something
Maybe it
wrong.
could be it too. I have the same problem with, well, not the same problem, but same type of issues with Scale 75. And then I found out they put out a really bad, like an entire order to the U.S. was bad,
Oh
and that
really?
was about the time that I had bought it from it was at a trade show. I was like, well, that's fine, but I'm not gonna risk it again for $50 or whatever.
Yeah, I've just been using Vallejo. It's pretty
I
consistent.
like the game color. The
Yeah,
new game colors are awesome.
yeah, I've just been using that.
So oddly enough, I really like the new Fnatic paints from Army Painter.
Really?
They're really good.
Okay.
Like, talk about a 180,
Yeah, okay.
like complete 180 as far as they're just really solid paints. But it's like I've been using mostly, like, I use whatever, but I'm using mostly Monument for the last couple of years now, and I'm just comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It really is like a sort of a personal thing too, though, I think, with paints.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
It's like brushes. There's people that love Winsor Newton, and then people that love Raphael's and hate the other, and it's like, but no one's really wrong.
I agree. Like, I can paint with any type of paint. It's just you kind of have to make some adjustments.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I think with these paints that I'm using, like, it just has this vibrancy that you can't get
it just
in some
works.
of the other ones.
Yeah.
What have
It's
you?
just super bright colors. Because it's hard to get saturation. You can't really get saturation back. I mean, you can glaze like with ink or something like that, but you know, so might as well start with the paints that have the highest saturation
Yeah,
and then do mixing. But
you can
not
always
everybody wants to
desaturate.
mix. Not everybody wants to mix.
Yeah.
And do all that or has that command of color theory or whatever. So, um, you know.
What heavy bodies you like using that?
I'll use Holbein and Golden, but
Oh,
uh, um,
I feel that sometimes the golden maybe it's using liquid cuts actually. But it's hard to use. They get kind of like streaky. You know,
Hmm.
find that.
I've had a couple certain colors that are like that I don't like. Like, but I haven't had that much of a problem like that. There's
Yeah.
only certain colors like that. I think that one was like azurite hue or azurite blue. That's what it was.
hmm
Just doesn't work for me. Um,
Yeah. It almost was like you wanted to see it with brushstrokes or something. You know, like
uh,
formulated so you could see the streaks a bit more. I don't know.
well, most of them are not like that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're more transparent though. They're definitely you're meant to mix to get opacity, but that's just because like the most vibrant colors, are what they're specialized for.
hmm
Like the Pyroli red that I have, it's like blows all of the Pyroli reds that are being released for miniature paints. It just blows them out of the water. It's, as far as the brightness goes,
mm
and that's the brightest red that you can get. It's Pyroli red. That thing is brightest warm red.
hmm
That paint though is actually expensive. It's like the most expensive paint I have. I think it's like $23 for a tube. But if you do the math, like all miniature paints are that expensive, so the price is better as well.
I'm kind of afraid to, like try it because I'm like, it's when I've used like when I've used heavy bodies, they've been hit or miss to find the color.
What do you mean hit or miss? Like
Meaning
they don't
like
get good coverage, or
yeah, or like
the streaky thing is not like a very often.
or it's like super shiny. You know?
Yeah, there is the shininess, but you just varnish it. You just like
Yeah, but like some are so shiny that it's even hard to work with. Like
uh
like
well,
it's
I don't like the flat finish that's so common these days. In fact, like some of the flat finish paints that in the miniature lines, like the color changes when they dry. I hate that. I can't stand that at all.
Yeah, that's how scale 75 would get blotchy almost.
Like the literally the hue of the color, it will look like, nice, and then when it dries, it just turns flat and sort of grayish.
yeah. I mean, I don't mind like I don't mind like shininess because like I'll paint with the inks and stuff. But this was like some of the stuff is like even like almost like nail polish. How shiny it is, and it's even hard to see in the painting.
I haven't found things that nail polishy. It's
Yeah,
like
it was like some of the magenta colors from Golden. I mean, from Liquitex. It was like
yeah,
that.
I haven't used Liquitex at all.
Maybe it's Liquitex.
Yeah, the magentas, they're not too bad. I mean, I really like Alizarin Crimson, but that one's quite glossy. One of the glossier ones. But it will say I mean, it will say like how glossy it is.
Yeah,
It's not like you're gonna be caught out.
that's true.
But I think the thing you have to get used to the most is like working more transparently
Mm,
or mixing for opacity. Because if you think that, like, that you want everything to have the high coverage, which is like what the miniature paint lines are all like, um, it's not gonna it doesn't work that way.
yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that one. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh yeah, I gotta change the base this guy's on anyways.
What book is he reading? It should be like a self-help book or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna do like War and Peace or
And before
maybe
I
listen.
beat the crap out of you, let me read
Yeah.
this book on self-help.
Either that or like electrofluid dynamics by
Right.
Richard Feynman or something.
Something super nerdy.
Yeah.
Quantum. Cool. Well, when do you guys want to move on to our community spotlight?
Yeah, I think I'm about ready.
That way to call it. I think we've had a pretty good session.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than losing this Captain America's shield, I found one, but it's actually to the other Captain America, so I don't know where this guy's shield is. But, yeah. Good times. Alright, let me... Where the heck? Question is... There it is. Community Spotlight.
Boy,
Nice.
this is a
Make it
cool
smaller.
song. Let me just run with this.
There we go. Okie dokie. This is our good buddy Andrew Weber. Cool little
Nice.
squad. I like it. I like it. Digging the bases.
Basically
It's
cool.
funny because so many people do just the standard base, and then some people just go all out, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for these models.
Yeah, definitely.
And the white for Black Widow there.
Yeah,
Looks nice.
very cool. Ooh, I like this one. Oh, this is also Andrew Weber.
Well,
Knight.
I like his
Can you go
weathering and stuff.
can we get back one? Aaron,
Very cool.
Aaron, here.
This guy's
Hello?
super rad. I don't know why. I
Yeah, we
just
see a
love
lot of versions of this guy, but they're all cool.
it. Yeah,
You know,
it's like
so
everybody's doing a great job on it.
yeah.
Remember that the one last time that they had recast the wave in clear? That was really cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
But this is very good. I love his swim trunks, nice and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's rad. So Frank Kazar.
Archangel. I
Yeah.
didn't realize they had two sets of wings. It's cool.
Yeah, he
I didn't
does.
either. I definitely want this set. Like Sliced Bread played, I think, Archangel against me. No, he didn't. But he had Archangel, and it was bigger than I thought. There we go. This is what I did box art for. The waterfall diorama thing.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
I think that the the metallic elements in the black suit, I think he was able to like balance that really well.
Yeah, he did
That's
a good job.
That's the base that he's on.
Yeah. So because it's like a waterfall scene, and it's him and Killmonger, and they're like fighting each other, and they're both splashing around, frolicking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that never made any sense to me in the movies because they're supposed to be this advanced society, but they live in a punchocracy.
Yeah, and then they just play in the water, which is pretty fun. There we go, Apocalypse. I like that one. I like that version. Put the gun on there. That looks cool. Nice job, Frank. Here we go.
Mhm.
Jake Vineyard?
Is that Venom there? Like the Venom parasite?
Oh my gosh, it is. I think it is, yeah, because there's the teeth. Is that the way the model comes?
I haven't seen that model before. It's cool though.
Yeah, it's a cool. That black purple looks really nice.
Yeah, I like it. I want to paint Venom. Venom's a cool model.
Mhm.
Cool character. Josh
Loki.
Halford. Is this Thor's brother or something?
Loki?
Is that-
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks like it. More like the comic book version.
This is pretty badass. There are so many Draculas that are so good. Like every single month.
How is that? Like, yeah, and all the bats are like a different arrangement. Like,
I
how is
think
that?
you can put them in different spots because everybody puts them like completely in different spots every single time. So
Yeah. And like that bat on the bottom left, it's
yeah,
like what?
just
What the heck is going on?
he's like, wait for me. I like it. I love the red armor. Very cool. Oh, there we go. Howling at the wind. Oh, this is the same guy. Kelly
Mm,
Rowe.
It's the rest of them.
Very cool. Great job, Kelly.
nice.
Ah, there we go. Michael William Davey.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
the guy on the far right there
Ulrich
with
or
the short shorts?
yeah,
Yeah.
Ulrich. He did a good job on him. I painted that box art too.
Awesome. It looks like
He's got the Daisy Dukes on or whatever. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice Rhino back there. This guy did a great job on this, Michael. Good job. And then kind of the alternate color scheme for the shocker. I like that.
I like pink suit looks pretty supple and awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
Cool.
Nice job. That's awesome. Here we go. A couple more squads. I love the squads.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like this guy's fun to play with, Ricardo, because they got all the cool terrain and stuff. And this model precariously perched right on that ledge. That's awesome.
How is it like floating? And what's floating?
It's like I wonder if like the base is touching the back of this model or something. I don't know. Probably not. I think it's just perfectly sitting there. Good job. I love this. All the posters on the ground. Toby
Hey,
Higgins.
one thing. Dallas was saying that for anyone submitting to the Worthy, you can't use IP not from Marvel. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
enter.
Because if they want to post stuff, then they can't. So yeah, we can't have like Coca-Cola or like you
No,
gotta make up fake brands just like the movies do. This one's super cool.
yeah, that's cool. Nice.
Vincenzo Ronda.
There's some decent blending on that.
Yeah, he looks good. I like the face. He looks like very no nonsense.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow, that happened
The
quick.
purple I see is pretty nice. The saturation on purple is good.
That's, yeah, I guess that's it. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good show, man.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Well, I had fun. I hope you guys had fun.
Oh yeah, I had fun. I hope Chad had fun too.
Yeah, even though I was pretty good at ignoring him the whole time. I wasn't trying, but I was also painting, so that works out. I'm super excited that I almost have that guy done. Getting the shield done should go pretty quick. So, cool. Well, right on. Well, I put the schedule on our Twitch, so people can come back and look at that, and hopefully I'll get the timing right next time. I think they're all at 8 o'clock Central, which means it's 10 o'clock my time. I think that was the problem. I thought it was 9 o'clock because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
7 Pacific.
Yeah. Easier for all you guys, and I don't mind going late, so should be good to go. But right on. Well, I will let you guys peace out, and we'll see you guys next time.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Cool beans.
All right.
Chat with you